This podcast is brought to you by Livin Swell Studios. When you want to record your next hit, broadcast your next live stream, or just need a quiet space to edit your videos, Livin Swell Studios can accommodate all your needs. Located in New Orleans, they're equipped with a rehearsal hall, print shop, photography space, and more. Livin Swell is your one-stop shop to facilitating your vision. Let them fulfill your music and video dreams.
Where the money reside with them. I can't get that shit out.
I know, bro. I know, bro. That's one of them songs, bro.
He said, "Well, I put that on Barry Her Little Lamb." One chick was like, "I put that on Peter Piper had pickled peppers." I'm like, "What?"
Yes, indeed. That's what I'm talking about.
All right, you want to start over?
All right, here we go. Hey y'all, what's happening? This is the Phessah Baham coming at you. Roommate of the Livin Swell Studios, and this is a new podcast. It's called Drew's Putting It Out There. Basically, I wanted to do this because I always have these discussions with a whole bunch of people, just philosophical discussions, moral discussions, all that other stuff. And so I just wanted to put that in podcast form, and so like everybody can watch and everybody can, voice their opinion and everything. To my right, your left, is my cohort. He's mostly known as Roast Beef Jenkins. He moves behind the scenes. Roast Beef Jenkins, you hear me?
Yo.
Mr. Swerve Music itself, give it up for Irv Darby.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for having me, Drew. I'm just happy to be here, man.
Man, I'm glad you could be here, and we can hopefully we can make this a regular thing. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
And so let's get into it. We gonna start off with I have a take, right?
All right.
I have a take. Now we know that the Super Bowl is in a week now. It's a week from now. Right. So I've always gotten the conversations with people when they talk about MJ, and LeBron, right? LeBron and his GOAT status, type of thing. Of course, nobody's going to deny that MJ is the greatest of all time.
Right.
I kind of deny it, but it just is what it is because I just like to argue.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I like to argue.
Right.
But my thing is that, okay, if y'all gonna sit up there and not make LeBron the GOAT,
right?
Well, then the same thing can be said for Tom Brady. You hear me? Why? Because hear me out. All I'm saying is this. Now Tom Brady is gonna go down in history as one of the best quarterbacks ever. All right.
I think he's gonna be the greatest, but I don't think he's gonna be the GOAT.
Maybe. That's where I'm thinking.
Right.
Because I'm like, okay, every argument that you can make of LeBron not being the greatest,
right.
He played with all stars,
right.
He does that and the other, he had to go switch teams and everything else. Same thing you can say with Tom Brady. Like it's the same thing, bro.
Right. But my thing is this is like it shows that he been playing for the Patriots for a long time.
Yeah.
And then he went straight to Tampa and he's bringing them to the Super Bowl the first year.
Yeah.
Either this dude great or they moving stuff around to make sure this dude wins.
Well, that's what I'm thinking about too, you dig? But because it's like, man, at the end of the day, like, I'm looking around, I'm like, man, how can you do this? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
How you can make this work? I'm still trying to figure that shit out. But I have a theory on that too.
Tell me a theory.
But here's my thing. All right, well, hear me out. So, as much as you can say LeBron played with nothing but all-stars, he went and switched teams, teams with all-stars. Now, let's be honest. How many of those all-stars are going in the Hall of Fame?
Majority of them not.
Yeah, with the exception of maybe Wade.
Right.
Ray Allen.
What you think about Bosh?
Bosh ain't going to the Hall of Fame. That's not, that ain't, he ain't going.
He not going.
Bosh ain't going to the Hall of Fame. I mean, but like I said, Ray Allen and Dwayne Wade. That's the only two I can think of.
Right.
Whatchamacallit not going when he went back to Cleveland. They're not going to, none of them ain't going. Yeah, Kyrie or whatchamacallit, they're not going to the Hall. If they get in the Hall, like, it's rigged. Straight up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So the same thing I can say about Tom Brady. Tom Brady, like it's interesting because like everybody's blaming, everybody's looking at Belichick and like, man, nah, it was Tom Brady. I'm like, no, man. Like Tom Brady got the privilege of having some of the best defenses ever.
Right. It seemed like he never been on a team where he had like a poor defense.
Right, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So it was all whatchamacallit. And actually, the three Super Bowl losses that Tom Brady had came as a result of the defense finally giving away that last drive.
Oh, I remember that.
They did it twice with Eli Manning, and they did it with Philly. You know what I'm saying? So like the reality of that shit is that, man, like I get it. Like I said, he is. I think Tom Brady is in the GOAT conversation.
Yeah.
I don't think he will ever be the GOAT because the same way that people like fuck with LeBron,
you don't fuck with him.
They're gonna fuck with him.
I personally think. No, I personally feel. No, I'm tripping. Not feel. I think that's my new thing. I think is that people gonna throw out his controversies at him about all the extra stuff that he did just to get to where he was at, and that's why he be left out the GOAT conversation. But I ain't gonna lie, bro. I always thought it was Belichick. I was like, man, Belichick must got the influence. But then once I saw him go over there, I said, okay, he's really that. I knew he was good, but he was like, damn, this dude really good.
Well, here's the thing. I still think Belichick is still the best coach, like the best coach out of all of them.
Hands down.
Hands down, right. So, and my thing is, and another one is like, okay, yeah, Tom Brady has 6 Super Bowls, right? 6 Super Bowls out of 9. Right. Well, it's going to be 10.
Right.
He already has 6 rings, right?
He's going to win it. I think he's going to win.
I don't, I don't think he's going to win it, and here's the reason why. I think Pat Mahomes is too fucking good. And Tampa Bay defense, with the exception of the front four, Cat can slick them out real quick. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying from a perspective of the skill set of the team.
Right.
And I agree with you on that, but I ain't gonna lie, I'm just like how things been so regularly.
But, you don't bet against Tom Brady. I get that. You don't bet against Tom Brady. I get that part. That's the part that I'm like, all right,
if
cool.
he lose, I'm like, yeah, okay.
Right.
So ain't that rigged.
Right. But which leads me to my next thing. I'm putting it out there.
Okay.
I think this season was rigged.
Oh hell yeah.
It's like, look, this is a COVID season. The Super Bowl is in Tampa Bay.
Right.
And so like you really can't sell tickets because you can't control the COVID situation.
Right. So you're not gonna have it to where people could travel.
Right. So but at least with this you can control the home fans.
Right. And it's like I feel like it's gonna bring what's one of for? It's gonna bring more money to the actual
brings more money to the Super Bowl.
Right.
I mean, people are gonna go to Tampa just to go.
Yeah,
but they're not gonna go to the game.
Right.
So like the NFL is not making the money.
Right. I feel like NFL trying to still like maintain the restrictions for COVID so they can make sure they look good.
Right, yeah, make sure they look good. Right. But I mean, I think that's what they do all the time.
Right.
Like, take for instance, I didn't figure this out until the last Super Bowl in New Orleans was here. Right.
Right.
And just to see the type of lock they have on everything going on, I'm like, all right, that makes sense to me. The NFL comes in. Like the city pays all this money for the NFL to come in and have the Super Bowl, just to have the Super Bowl, and they sit to host the Super Bowl.
And they take this thing over, bro.
Right, and they take it over. And the NFL, and I found out that the NFL like has a list of approved restaurants to go to. They have an approved list of clubs to go to. They have an approved list of everything.
Wow.
So anything that's unapproved by the NFL is like they don't have any dealings with it. Okay. It's like, man, no, let people explore the city.
Right.
It's like people explore like, there's a whole bunch of businesses that could benefit just from 100 people going to your restaurant, man. Right. Like you done messed over everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Now people feel excluded.
Right.
You can't be doing that.
But the thing about it is, and if you don't want to even go anywhere, they got a whole NFL village.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do they do that? They do it in the first quarter somewhere?
No. This is the one that's set up inside the Hilton.
Okay, all right.
It was set up inside the Hilton. You didn't even have to go outside.
Okay, that must have been NBA when I saw it.
The experience on the French Quarter. Yeah, they still had that, but that's for us.
Oh, okay.
That's for everybody else.
Oh,
but like the where the money is, where the money reside.
Where the money reside. Oh, Hilton.
Woo! Boy, that boy had a hit on his own. But like that,
cash out.
Yeah, So they like the NFL has total control of the money, and so we don't really see that much revenue,
Right.
come through the city.
Right. Because we're not making that back.
Right. So this is the perfect environment for them because everything can literally be NFL and it's going into the NFL's pocket.
Right, but it's like down, like break bread with the city.
Right.
Like, it's not like you taking a major L because you're doing the Super Bowl here.
Right, exactly.
So imagine how much you eating off of it being here, plus the movie commercial trailers,
Right.
the new commercials and stuff. So it was like
All the sponsors. Yeah.
everything. So you're making money.
Right.
And then whoever win, they're gonna probably say, "Oh, I'm going to Disneyland or something." I know y'all
Right.
probably benefiting off of that.
Exactly, man. Exactly. So, I don't know, man. It's just I thought I wanted to put it out there because I know some people gonna be like, man, that's some bullshit. But
They got some people who feel like that.
yeah, but I'm like, no, I that's the way I look at it. It's
Right.
because maybe partly because I'm a LeBron fan, and if y'all gonna give LeBron the blues about about this GOAT conversation, we need to give Tom Brady the same energy. That's all I'm saying.
Man, when Tom Brady tried high five that referee, I was like, "Yo, fam, you out of pocket, fam. You heard me out of pocket, bro." Oh man,
All right, so just throw a next subject out now. In the grand scheme of black intellectualism,
okay,
we often have a varying definition of when it comes to people being called a coon
Uncle
or a
Tom.
sellout, Uncle Tom sellout. And I've always had this idea of like, okay, I think that at the pit of the problem, at the nucleus of the dilemma or whatever, or the argument, is what is a coon?
Right.
Like, what is the definition? Like, how do we define it as a society as coons, sellouts, all of those demeaning black terms, Sambo, Uncle Tom, it's like, what is defined as that, and where does it come from? What's the etymology?
Know what? This might be like off. It's gonna be on subject, but off of what you just asked. Coon, Uncle Tom is like the original cancel culture.
Yeah.
And this really hit me. Like I really thought about it just now. I was like, that's the original cancel culture. And
got a point.
I just feel like I think that we just designed to like really hating ourselves. Ain't no way around it. And so we figured that out. We don't call each other coons, Uncle Toms. But the problem is, if you research Uncle Tom, he wasn't a sellout. He was trying to help his people by any means.
Right.
And it's documented.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, that's why I think like but just because he was the token black, so to speak, in the book. I think that was the problem.
Right.
Now I get it. We do believe that some people are just kind of just jive in their being. But I always ask, what's the line? Like what's that threshold between you being you just being a regular old black person,
right,
and you being a coon, cooning. Because like I think I saw this, a couple of times every time when people talk about Steve Harvey, it's like, yeah, he's a coon, man. Like he's cooning. I remember what actually got me first engaging with people about that was I saw this interview with Stephen A. Smith talking to some kids at I forgot what HBCU it was, but he was talking to some students and he's like, man, look, racism doesn't exist for you. That's what he said.
Right.
That was exactly what he said. He said, racism doesn't exist for you. He said, mainly because he's like, you did not endure the racism that your grandparents endured.
Right.
Like you have it just a little easier than your grandparents,
that makes
your
sense.
great grandparents, and the interesting thing about it was that most of our grandparents, our great grandparents, they were actually more well off than what we are now.
Yeah, I believe that. They was more self-sufficient. They didn't need as many things as we need.
Well, yeah, that too. That too. And so, but like, next generation over, now they're looking at those people as if they were the real coons and they were the real, What's the words? Like Uncle Tom's.
Right.
And so I'm like, how can you regard them as being coons when all and I kind of understand, just from I put my definition together, which was a composition
Okay.
of how everybody else talked about it. And my thing is just that there's this like thin gray line between you doing something or acting a certain way. And I think the dividing line is, who are you doing it for?
Right. What's your What's your motive at the end of the day?
Yeah, what's your motive? It's like if it's to gain the appreciation or gain the to gain favor
Right.
with white folks.
Right.
All right, I can understand that. That's cooning.
Yeah.
But if you're doing it for the betterment of you and your family and your neighborhood and your people, then is it really cooning?
That's like the spook that's sat by the door.
Right, exactly.
And I was about to bring that up because you watch the movie, you thinking he's cooning Uncle Tom, but the whole time he's infiltrating them and giving information back to to his community.
Right.
So the thing is, you never know, a person can sit up there and play a role of infiltrating.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that people can still play that to this day.
Yeah.
So you never know a person's intention unless you ask them and really pay attention to their actions, because assumptions is a horrible way is horrible in what we do to each other, Yeah. And I'm like, we gotta stop assuming stuff, thinking that, and we assume the worst with each other, man.
We do.
And we gotta stop. We have to stop doing that. We have to stop doing that as a culture.
Well, it's hard not to, because here's the reality: this is a capitalist society.
Yeah.
So it prides itself on individualism.
Right.
Right. So us as a community is not as important as me as the individual.
Right.
Me as the individual is like, so no, that's why getting money.
Right.
And that's why, like, garnering yourself in a criminal lifestyle,
right,
is so attractive, it's so romantic, because like that's all you see.
You right.
That's the American way. The American way is just like capitalists, get this money by any means necessary.
Right.
But our grandparents and great grandparents had that same mind frame.
Right.
The only difference is like, okay, we are being rejected because of the color of our skin.
Not because of our skill set.
Not because of our skill set. Because we have the skill set.
Right.
We come from the slave class. So we have the skill set right now. At that moment, they had the skill set. And so the way that white folks would treat them is the same way white folks treat the Mexicans now.
Right.
Because the Mexicans now have the skill set.
Man, them dudes putting together a house quick.
Just like that. Now they have the skill set. So it's like, they were able to build their own neighborhoods.
Right.
Our grandparents were able to build their neighborhoods with that same skill set, because the carpenter did, the carpenter, built the brick mason's house.
Right.
And vice versa. And the guy who the guy who did this, the guy who did that, the plumber, the roofer.
I know every family. I feel like every family in New Orleans, like our parents' family, multiple members of the family had carpenters.
Right.
Because I know the old house I stayed in and where I grew up at, my mom told me that my dad's grandfather or his great grandfather built the house.
Yeah.
And he said that my mom was like, hey, yeah, a lot of houses in this neighborhood your grandfather, your dad's family built. But you don't hear about that, like, talking about it no more.
You're not gonna hear about it.
Right.
That's the reality. You ain't gonna hear about it, mainly because, like I said, because now, like, our generation, especially the one behind us, but the one in front of us, the generation in front of us, was all about getting money.
Right.
So it was, like I said, when you start to get into that, baby, when you start to get into by any means necessary,
right,
that's when the detriment of the neighborhood goes.
Right.
So when the detriment of the neighborhood goes, the detriment of the whole thing goes. That's just, well, let me rephrase that. The detriment of the family unit goes.
Right.
Why? Because the male of the house, the man of the house, is taking penitentiary chances.
Right. He is like, I'm
Literally.
risking my life. I'm risking to get the RICO just to make sure we survive for the next few months.
Exactly. So like now you have a situation where, you know, 90% of the cats who've crossed that line are in jail.
Right.
And the women are by themselves with the children.
Right.
Which leaves it open for any and everybody to come in and manipulate what they're doing. Not to say that women aren't strong and they're not smart.
But a woman who lost her king.
Right. It can be easily manipulated.
Right. Because now she's figuring out. Now she's trying to figure out what the next move gonna be, and she don't have that man to counsel her into a direction.
Right. So like so it's just kind of, I don't know. It's I don't know, bro. Like, hey,
it's like one of my favorite movies is like Troy,
mm-hmm.
and the dude who Paris's brother who Hector.
Mm-hmm.
Hector told his wife he showed her back entrance out to get out of Troy,
mm-hmm.
and she was like, "I won't survive. I won't do it." He said, "No, I'm telling you how to survive without me. I'm telling you how to survive. Get the people out of here without me. Right. Like it's a possibility. I killed this dude cousin.
Mm-hmm.
He's coming for me. So." You gotta be strong for me when I'm gone, because there's a possibility I'm gonna be dead. You know that if I go out there, I'm not coming back. It's a possibility. So what that means, I'm showing you how to maneuver. So while I'm this happening to me, the next night you could get people out of here.
Right, exactly.
And sometimes you gotta. I feel like I think that with me, with the women I always have, I try my best to like, give them some type of like, not guidance or direction. It's just like, hey, like. If something happened to me, if I can't make it, this is how you can maneuver a situation. Like, say, for example, if a young lady I'm dealing with tomorrow, she need to get her car fixed. I'm like, well, am I available to check your car out? But there's somebody could go to right here who I have a relationship with, and they can check your car out, and then I can come meet up with them and go figure out what's wrong with it. So sometimes you guys have certain things set up for them so they can just maneuver, and make sure she follows directions without panicking.
Right. Yeah, but if she's not there, but if you in jail,
right, that's different.
And she need a car fix,
right? Don't blame Mr. Charlie.
Right. Jody is around the corner,
right?
That's the reality. But it's like, yeah, but let's go back to the subject at hand. You're right, exactly. But but the subject at hand is like, I look at enough cats and I just ask the question. What's the, like, where is that line? Where is that line? Where is that, you are, necessarily, or you are, kind of defamation.
When does the conscience kick in and tell you, like, nigga, hold up, you're going too far? That's what I'm thinking. It's like, nigga, hold up, nigga. You're going too far. You might not survive this. Dial it back, dog. Go home.
Right. What actually, what made me think about it is like, when I mentioned Steve Harvey,
right.
I'm looking at Steve Harvey Steve Harvey when he had Monique on.
Right.
And he's just trying to tell Monique, look, you got one or two choices. And I guess that kind of messed with me when he called him a coon, because I was like, okay, he's just telling her you got two choices. You either go out there and do it yourself,
or play that game.
Or play the game. He was like, I played the game.
Right.
And I won.
Right. And he up. I gotta give it to Steve Harvey.
And so why is the black community mad with him? Because he was able to get up.
Right. He finessed the game. He knew what it was.
But you're looking at other cats, but I guess he's not the romanticized, dope boy.
But who use as an example who played the game and got up? Mayweather.
Yeah.
Mayweather. And I don't think
we
Mayweather
here with him.
We love Mayweather.
We love Mayweather. Like, I'd be like, man, but like Steve Harvey just did the exact same thing.
But know what it is? I think ever since he came out with that book, and then he started showing that his relationships with his ex-wives was trash, that's when it was like, man, like...
Might be right, bro. You got a point, because
I ain't realize, bro, because it's like, before that, I was like, man, Steve Harvey's straight, but then it started coming out like, how you giving women advice on men? How you giving them the blueprint when you fuck up? I'm not judging. I'm a fuck up myself, but shit, I'm not about to write a book to give women a game how to deal with men.
Right.
So,
that's why I always ask the question. I was like, okay, so where's the line?
Right.
What makes you a coon, and what makes you a sellout?
But not to diverse the Mayweather. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people think Mayweather's a coon.
But the thing is, I don't know, because I guess, at what point are you not stop, or do you stop being a coon? Because the ultimate goal is to what? Make money.
Right. Ultimate goal is to feed your family, make money,
to
and
get
build
your
a
money.
legacy.
Yeah, to get your money. So get your money up. So he's no different than what I would regard like Mantan Marlin or Step and Fetch It.
Right.
But then again, that's what we call Brown. You know what I'm saying? Like that's is he cooning or he's not cooning because he's making you laugh?
Let me ask you
and
a
these
question.
are the black production.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think Jay-Z and Beyonce cooning?
No. Fuck no.
Exactly.
By no means. Yeah. But we would never look at them and say that because I think here is the difference. I think mainly how some of these cats see it. Some cats see it like, don't denigrate the culture for the sake of appeasing white folks.
Right, like don't fuck up your shit.
But now if you denigrate the culture to appease yourself for other black folks, what's the problem?
Right. What's the difference?
What's the difference? Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
It's like one white, one black.
One black.
At the end of the day, you still messing up the culture.
Right. That to me, that's the ultimate in that. That's why I don't subscribe. I mean, I don't ascribe to like that type of name calling because like that's really subjective. It really, it really is relative.
Right.
So, realtors. Do you need some special aerial photography or video footage? Or maybe you need some stock footage of the city for your presentation? Or maybe a beautiful shot of a landmark just to hang on your wall? Well, time for you to check out DM NOLA Shots. They are a drone photography and videography company established in New Orleans who specialize in capturing aerial 4K video and photo. Check out the website at www.dmnolashotsllc.com or follow us on social media at DM NOLA Shots on Instagram and Facebook. DM NOLA Shots. All right, y'all, we back. And my special guest, my first guest, and probably won't be the last, at least for right now, is my Sharia Moore, my two-way bell. You know what I'm saying? The thorn in my side, all that good stuff. Yeah.
Only one that could aggravate you.
Some people know her as Sugar B. I know her as Maya. Maya, y'all.
Hello.
And we got Irv over here on the what you
Yo, I'm still here. We still in the building. We still here.
That's what I'm talking about. So let's get this discussion back on course. And I wanted to kind of touch on something. I'm calling an audible Omaha.
Okay.
On this, yeah. The reason why I wanted you on here is because I always talk about kind of like women's issues from a male chauvinist perspective, and so it's always great to have dissenting opinion and all that other good stuff. So I was like, Maya, you're gonna come on this inaugural episode, so we can get this thing popping. She was reluctant at first, but I got but. This kind of ranges from a number of discussions we've had over the years, but I want to say this was last week. We were talking with some friends, with some of her female friends, and they were just talking about, girl, I need to go to the gym, and it's that and and after a while, I kind of got tired of hearing about it. I was like, man. Dudes don't give a fuck about that shit.
Actually, they do though.
But I'm just saying, I don't think they really care that much. Like they really just don't care that much. It's like, here's the thing. Men, especially men who are just like into you, we could care less.
Right.
I agree. Now I do agree with that. I do agree with that.
Like Cat Williams said, we're not worried about stretch marks. If we see stretch marks, it's either you were small and you got big, or you was big and you got small.
Right.
Either way,
y'all bugging.
We won.
Right.
Yo.
So
either way,
we won. So, but which kind of goes into this the subject at hand that I wanted to discuss on. I have a tug of war, so to speak, in principle, with surgery, whether it's the lap band, whether it's, whatever, versus
You mean like me going to Dr. Curves?
Yeah, like you going to Dr. Curves. I am so
hitting
vehemently against you going to Dr. Curves.
Oh, Mr. Miami?
Yeah.
Well, excuse me, Dr. Miami?
Dr. Miami. I don't, it is what it is.
Oh, Dr. Brazil?
You know, and here's the reason why. Here's the reason why I think about it. It's cheating because, like, you're getting something done to your body that, first of all, nature didn't intend.
Right.
But most importantly, it makes you look different in a way that I don't think is like complimentary to you.
Well, there are many women that has gotten surgery before that you can't tell.
Right. Yeah.
You can't tell. So I think it's all in, what you putting in and who you're going to.
Right. But here's my thing. If you're 400 pounds and you ain't got that surgery and now you 280 without no exercise.
Right. Something right.
That's the problem because like we see
that drastic
a whole
change.
bunch of people who make that drastic change and like you can tell they had something done because their skin is lagging. Yeah. So you didn't get the skin graft when you got the tummy tuck.
Yes.
You
can definitely
all that type of
tell.
stuff. So it's like if you're gonna do it
naturally.
Do it. Because the reality about it is you still gotta go to work out.
This is true. It's still a lifestyle.
Right.
It's definitely.
I know that while I was working at Walmart, they had a young lady. She went and got it done. And I ain't gonna lie, like the waist, the body, the curves was just good. But now I see her now, she's like wide. And the thing is, I realized that the problem I have with it is that women will go sit up there and change their lifestyle and get their body done. But they're not changing their lifestyle of their eating habits. They're working out and just doing whatever they can to maintain the body. If it I look good, it's like, no, you have to maintain it. Because once your body shakes back naturally to its natural state, you're going to look worse. You're not going to look like the women in your family. If you do be like the women in your family, you'll look altered.
Ooh, this is true.
And like, for example, like, I feel as though, like, why women, I think women, I ain't going to say I think. I'm trying to word it right. Bear with me out. Women feel like that's the most easiest route to take because, let's be real, some women don't want to put in that extra work to exercise.
That's true. Because I hate exercising. I'm not going to tell that like that.
Like, every girl I ever dated, we go to the gym.
It's really falling in love with the lifestyle, the transition. Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to learn to do. Because I got happy weight on.
Right.
Don't get it twisted. I'm good under here.
Right.
Happy
weight.
You know, this not, the big, I'm just lazy, uncomfortable, don't want to.
Right.
No, it's happy weight.
Now, I know a lot of women, we used to go to the gym and we be working out, Maya.
Oh, yeah.
I be working out. I'm getting the groove. I'm ready to go home. We haven't been here for not even like an hour. I'm ready to go home.
And you know what? Though? That's the women. Honestly, when you first start dating, that's that preliminary. Yeah, I'm gonna do it because he into it. I'm trying to, but you can always tell the difference.
No, this was after a year.
Oh, really?
Like I was like, yo, I'm getting in pocket now. I'm feeling it. I'm trying to I'm trying to drench. I'm trying to really sweat.
Yeah, so she still sounds like she still was doing it for you though. Like but
it's the thing though. It was her idea.
Yeah,
of course.
She was like,
yeah, because see, you want me more. That's gonna make you want me a little bit more.
Once I get in pocket or something, I'm falling. I'm falling for it. Okay, I'm courting it. I'm taking my time. I'm falling for it. Okay, I'm with it. Next thing you know, she tapped out. I say, bro, you ain't really. Your shirt not even damp. Like you ain't really do nothing. I'm like, I want to see. I want to feel some results. I want to feel the burn for real. And they always say that if you're working out and your body tells you that it's tired, that means you only did like 3/4. You only did like less than 3/4 of working out. Well, you still got more to go.
More to go. Yeah. You're not exerting enough energy.
Right. I want to get to that point where I want to feel it. I want to exert energy.
You want to feel it. Yeah, we have a Drew and I, when we're good at doing it consistently, is the bike riding. I like that. If I can find things that makes me happy with doing and I'm comfortable with it, that's what I would do. But right now, I ain't gonna lie, I just been a couch potato since this quarantine. Quarantine weight and happy weight. That's what this is.
Well, see, that's the
But
thing.
men, y'all can just like y'all blink
We can
and it
start
seems
drinking
like
alcohol.
it's alcohol. If you stop drinking sodas for a minute, you know what I mean, or eating the little Debbie's,
I got a theory on
it's
that.
like
I got a theory on that. I'm gonna put that
y'all
out there.
drop
I'm gonna put this-
us. We gotta.
Like I said, let me put this out there. I have a theory on that. Mainly, it's because women, for the most part, have jobs where you don't exert as much energy.
Right.
That's true.
And so, but you're exerting energy in different ways. So, like you've been sitting behind that computer for 8 hours. You don't want to go work out.
No, I ain't gonna lie, I don't.
You don't want to go work out. But like somebody like me,
You'll
pretty
do
much
it.
everything I do is labor intensive.
Right.
As a
So
man,
you're already in that.
so yeah,
active,
I'm already in that. All right, no,
Let's
I gotta
go.
go. Yeah, because I ain't work out. You
I need
get
to
this
work.
out of my,
I need to
get
work.
this out of my system.
Right.
So I think that's part of the difference because that was one of the subjects that we was gonna get on. Yeah, perfect. It's pretty. You put that right on in. That's right on in. No, I mean because I just think that it's kind of like, and that's why I think that it's it's a last ditch effort. Like getting snatched is a last ditch effort to kind of get the body that you want, that you believe that you want.
For me, I'm gonna speak for me. I can't speak for every woman, but for me, it would be that assistance that we need, that extra push, because we all want that fast result. Let's be honest. Yeah. Like if you want to be brutally honest, it's that fast, bam, I'm snatched.
Well, I have a question for both of y'all. Since we talking about this, is it safe to say who most stuck in their comfort zone, men or women? I think women. I think women are most stuck in their comfort zone.
It's easier for us to fall into that comfort zone, especially if we're happy. Right? Because we got the man. It's just like y'all get the women, y'all go after y'all done conquered. Us, we get the man, we like, okay, until something goes off or goes wrong.
Right.
That reminds you, hey, okay, you got him. You got to keep him looking.
Right.
Right. And it's rare that men. I'm not gonna say rare. All men do it. You see something like this one, for example. Babe, you're fine the way you are.
Yeah, you won't find the way you are.
But you let a bad bitch walk by. Now we both might look, but
exactly. Right. That's my whole deal.
Because I'm looking
we both
too.
Looking. That's my whole thing. We both looking, right?
I done did
we
it.
both looking, right? That's the thing. We both looking. You gonna look at me and just be like, I know you saw it. I know that'll fine, huh? I be like,
I do.
I'm like, no comment.
I'm guilty.
No comment.
I
plead the fifth.
I am.
On the right.
I'm guilty of that.
I might incriminate myself.
Right.
That's the, and that's the only reason why I say that is because I'm like, baby, you still have the aura. When you walk into a room, everybody kind of looks at you. You still have that thing. You still have those intangibles.
That's true.
Those intangibles that, the women that are trying to get snatched.
Well, and ultimately,
those women are trying to have
that.
the very thing that you have without any.
But that's that. As they say, tap into your inner asshole. That's that. I really don't give a shit what the fuck they talking about. Like I'm coming in because I'm comfortable. Like fuck what y'all talking about.
But no, what the problem is, I think with the gyms is that they have to realize it's a judge-free zone, and people don't realize that. They feel
they don't. Because you have some women go in there, and you like, girl, you coming to work out. Why are you looking like you about to go to the grocery store or to the club? And you coming to work out.
But some people don't have that etiquette. Think about it. You might have some people in their family who don't work out, and they solo dolo try and make a change. So they have to outsource to get that information. So
that's true.
Everything's a learning process. I feel like when you step out your comfort zone, you really have to be eager to learn.
Yeah, you have to be focused. You really do. You have to be focused on that. As far as me losing my pounds, let me get this. But some women though, like myself, we have hormonal issues. Like women have various issues, as to why
And
they
I'm not,
may or may
yeah.
not go to. Now, you do have the ones who just doing it mainly because they're vanity, you
Right.
know.
Mm-hmm.
But then
Right.
you have some that are like, hey, these are some health concerns right now, and I need this like right away because
Right.
if I know that if I try it naturally,
Right.
it's gonna take longer than what I need. So
Right.
you know they may go.
Right.
And then usually those are the ones who have insurance and they actually doing it right. But then you have the ones, you know, the vanity. I gotta get snatched. I just don't like too much, you know, taken away because if it's just like with makeup. You know, we discuss makeup all the time.
All the time.
Right.
That's
You know-
another part of. To me, that's another part of the snatching.
Yes.
Because we were just having this conversation not too long, but last week. And I'm watching the Busted Challenge,
Yes, Lord.
on the hashtag. You heard me?
Yes, I think I've watched
Yeah,
thousands.
Yeah, I'm watching the Busted Challenge,
You get
because I went
addicted,
to
you
the
scroll
hashtag
like,
on Instagram to watch the Busted Challenge.
You gotta go to the hashtag on Twitter.
Oh yeah, that's the one. That's the one
So,
too.
but I'm looking at them, and after a while, it went from me just trying to look at women, you get caught up.
You
looking
get
at
caught
women.
up. Yeah, I've got caught
To
up.
me,
Like
looking
really?
at like goddamn, the transformation is like
Yeah.
And that's I think women have it, especially this generation, the new generation, the younger, Generation X or Z, whatever they call it. I feel like they have it twisted. Makeup is supposed to enhance the
Not hide.
beauty that's already there.
Yep.
If you look like a totally different person, you are the representative of what you're supposed to be.
Right.
Not really the person. So I'm like, I really think, and I mean, television, the videos, the video vids, they have given a totally different name to, they done changed the game. And I don't want to bring up the LBGT community.
Well, I was
like
gonna
some
get to
of
that.
them,
I was gonna yeah.
they've our queens love them to death, but they've given the women like, oh, I gotta give them life, honey, and,
Right.
and we gotta beat this face. But
them drag
yes,
shoes.
but I'm like, some women don't have to do that. You put on a little, tinted moisturizer and a little eyeliner, and it's
all you
good.
need.
Yeah,
Turn
that's
one
all
up
you
a little
need.
Yeah. No, okay. Yeah. No, you good.
But they really. I wish some of them wouldn't do it, and then they get upset when they're losing lashes. they're in their 20s or their late teens, and they're putting on all this makeup, and then by the
Right.
time they are 40.
need
They're looking
wigs.
like they're
You
60.
ain't got no lashes.
You don't have no lashes.
Right.
You wondering why
No
you
lashes.
have alopecia, something you was nowhere near having
Right.
before, but you done put on so many wigs and didn't get it properly done. See, there's nothing wrong with wigs,
Right.
but it's getting it properly installed
And you
and
gotta
things
let
like
your
and
head
and you have to let your hair breathe.
Right.
Yes. You have to.
Let it breathe.
Yes.
It's alive, B.
Exactly.
It's
It
alive.
grows. If
But
you
they
let
see it. They see it on Instagram and all the girls doing it. But I got this $250,000 idea that I want, and I'm going after it. But I only got $250 in my pocket. I got a $250 budget.
Right.
So you go into Kiki in the damn kitchen,
Right.
get your wig installed
Right.
because the hair industry is and the makeup industry, we know it's
We know it's making
billion-dollar
Bomb
industry.
industry.
Yes.
So I mean that, and I think that's why I have that problem. But here's what I see, I'm just putting it out there. I think it was the drag queens that put that out there.
And
They created
really,
that
and
culture.
honestly, they did create it, but unknowingly, because I know a lot of them did it because in order for them to transform into their persona,
Right.
per se, they had to. They can't go there with that facial hair
Right.
that grew out there.
Right.
It's not going, and they talking about they about to be Kiki.
Right. Right. Well, and which kind of leads me to the next like topic, you know, and it kind of ties in. It kind of ties in, but I think it's just kind of.
Well, let me wrap this up then, because I wanted to say this. A lot of women do that in hopes of the attention from the man, not really knowing that men don't like it.
Right.
They really don't care. They want to see you in the natural set. They do not want to see Shalonda, Miss Shalonda or whatever in the club, and then tomorrow he got Chanel.
Right.
Like that's not, you know, it's just not totally different. Chanel,
Right.
you know, like it's two different people, you know.
With their Ken Waynes and Wayman.
Yes, yes. She take the nails off, the eyelashes, the hair. Like what? Who does that?
You talking about your boy, your girl on that.
Oh. Oh yes, slow down, dirty shame. Bring me my perm. And last time you bought me super, girl. So funny.
Well, anyway, it's kind of like it is part of that, and it's kind of great tie-in because the question that I wrote was, with the acceptance of all the genders, are we as a society trying to overcompensate or overcorrect for the years of like the homophobia that they've endured?
That's a good
because
question.
it makes me wonder, and like one of the things is that I know I'm not homophobic by any means. I've been accepting of anybody who's gay, lesbian, queer, and all that type of stuff.
Whatever they go by.
Whatever
I mean, now they have so many titles. I don't keep up. I'm like, you are who you are.
Right. Whatever floats your boat.
Whatever you are.
And the thing is, I do, and I'm one of those people who do believe they're entitled to civil rights. Not because of what other people think civil rights is, but it's the right for them to be who they are.
Right.
And just the mere fact that they were persecuted for being who they are, yes, that is by definition, a civil right, that they're fighting for and that they're trying to live. And so it's kind of like, but do we need this kind of thing? Because I feel like we have been so like accepting that I feel like we're just trying to overcompensate from just all of the homophobia and all of
I think
they're trying to pick up. It's like now we got the moment to pick up where we left off at. Now we about to sit up there and just push this shit in your face 24/7.
Exactly.
For all the years you kind of like made us be taboo. Now we not taboo no more. We not behind the
we just being who we are.
The closet is destroyed.
Right.
So we out here.
Right.
You gotta
I think what plays a part in that is the generation. You got to look at the generation. We have this generation is bold.
Yeah,
they are not gonna sit down and like say, hey, let me think about it before I do this. No, they just like in your face, quick. That's all they know. As I call it, the microwave generation.
Right.
Yeah.
So because it's so accepting, and how else can I say it? Like, I guess they just being them. All together, like it doesn't matter what you say, what mama says. It's only some of them worry about what their parents say.
Right. Of course.
I've personally talked to quite a few that has had their coming out story and it was tragic, and then I've had those others who are like, well, yeah, my mama knew, and like for me, my I call him my brother, and I won't say his name.
Please don't.
But
we protect people over here.
Yes, I love him to death. But by the time he came out to me, I was like, boo, I knew that when you were sick. You know what I mean? Like grandparents, mothers. So a lot of times parents know before their children. That's why I'm saying that, like people know because you're going to do certain things that's going to make you stand out. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I think, for this generation, they just are bold and they are like, look, it's no longer hidden or has to be a secret. You have people that's in the limelight naturally and they came out and said it's okay to be who you are, and you don't have to hide whether you wear the pants or the skirt or whatever it is, because in actuality we got them in the Senate, we got them in the the White House, they're running the country.
They run the country.
This is it is what it is, and I mean what you do behind closed doors is your but to get back on point far as the makeup goes, I really do feel like they set the bar high because you have some that are
well, it's probably, I guess it's the whole thing of especially with men. With men, the drag queens. They were men. So they had to beat their face up so much.
So it's like
to
women
transform to exactly.
Right. To actually just try to have anything feminine, so to speak. And so I understand that part. That's the part I understand. That's the part that makes sense.
But they've also they've set the bar so high for some women because you have men who can dance, who can flaunt, who can hit a pole better than any woman ever did it. Even beat their face. Like they do it better. I mean, I hate to say that, but they do. So it's almost like it's competition now.
That's like, I would say her name, somebody I used to date that we all know. No. I ain't about to see nothing out of pocket about her. She used to always make these comments like, I wish I could have your eyelashes. I'm like, but yours look flawless. And she never used to wear fake. I'm like, I like your eyelashes. You always look good. She said, no, I just wish I could have you. It wasn't my eyelashes because the current one likes my eyelashes. She liked my eyebrows.
Yeah.
She was like, I love your
that
eyebrows.
natural art. Because we're always looking, I mean, quite naturally, we're always looking for something to change about ourselves, especially if we see another female or male that has done it better or they look a certain way. But because we all have that complex.
But I don't arch my eyebrows.
No, they're natural. Exactly. They're natural.
Trust me, bro. I've been in the same situation.
Eyelashes.
Yeah, eyelashes, eyebrows.
Right.
Maya used to always be like, man, I like your eyebrows. Why? Just your eyebrows are just thick. I was like, because I don't touch them.
Right.
I leave them alone.
Y'all had the pin on there. Look like a TV off the corner store. Bumping for $1. Now I'm like, you should never touch them. Don't. The whole thing I'm trying to say is keep me the way the guy
leave them alone.
But like the piggyback off you say about the boldness, I think from my perspective with them talking to young people, their boldness deep down subconsciously is a sign that they really want attention. Like for example,
that's true.
Now he goes growing up, you go to a family barbecue, a family function, and your cousins go take a walk up the street. We know what they're going to do. I had a talk with a guy I've been knowing for over 20 years. I was talking to his nephew. He said, my family, bro, we all do that. At the family function, instead of going to walk on the street, we just blaze up even from my grandma. I'm like, bro, it's a thing, it's an etiquette of respect. You don't do that.
Yeah, you don't do that.
And I realized, like, just talking to young people, they just be so infatuated that they got freedom and they're kind of exploiting their
my
freedom of being an adult.
Yeah.
Who I didn't have to bring down to reality a few times.
But my thing is like, I had to tell them, they said somebody was like, a young dude was like, man, I'm 18, what's the best advice you could give me? I said, don't exploit your adulthood. And he said, what you mean? I said, just everything is always in pocket. Just stay in pocket. Don't just keep it slow motion. Don't sit up there and be thinking that you grown. You could just do certain stuff. I know you won't do soy oats and do all that wild stuff. Cool, but like I give him an example. If you at the point where your family know you smoke weed, don't try to do it in their face. Go take a walk. Cause like my sister what? My sister should be 28, 29. And it got to a point where she went through her weed smoking phase, but she went through it late though.
Okay.
I'm like, nigga, you past 25 now. You want to smoke weed? Give it up. But anyways, we had a family function. She's trying to smoke it from my mom. I'm like, yo, you don't do that. Like,
yeah, you don't do.
Like she knows you high. She's not gonna bother you, but don't, out of respect, you don't smoke in front of your parents.
Yes. Yeah.
I agree. But that's the thing. That's my thing with this generation is that I like that they're bold because I feel like as me being 35, I can learn from that. But you being bold.
But if you think about the comedians, the ones that say that they were teased or bullied when they were little, right? they would make people laugh to kind of deviate that limelight on them. Because if I talk bad about myself, or if I put myself out there, what can you say about me? If I'm already fat, you can't call me fat.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if I feel like I am already and I'm calling myself these things, you ain't gonna, you know.
Right.
Or if I'm already out, you're gonna call me, you know, the F word.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm already letting you know I am.
Right.
So I think to a degree, some of them do. I agree with you. They do want that attention. And some are calling out for it in other ways.
Once
you know,
you get the attention, now what?
Yeah.
You got the attention. You want the world to see you. We get it. Like, but my thing is like, if you want the world to see you, it's like, hey, like you're not the only person in the world who's on that. Go get in line with the rest of them. Pick it up.
Yeah, it's a whole bunch of. It's a whole. I agree with that. It's a whole bunch of them.
Well, all right. Well, I think we can kind of, end this here because we went. I went a lot longer than I wanted to. No, it's perfect. It's perfect. Because I like to have, this is the type of conversation that I like to have, and this is the type of conversation that I always have.
Cool.
Of course, the next topic is going to be sometimes be a little more heated, a little more
right, aggressive,
a little more fun,
a
little more fun, to talk about. And but I love this episode. We got some good stuff. We got some good shit.
Yeah.
And I'm
topic.
I'm excited about
teenagers. I got a 19-year-old. Let's talk about it. Teenagers. Yes. I ain't put him out yet.
Man, leave that man alone. Y'all just trying
He's
to find
nine.
Trying to figure it out.
You trying to figure it out. That's all.
Because when I was 19, I was doing Katrina.
Yo, out here, okay? I'm like, what are you doing?
Don't figure out. Just tell my little brothers put a condom on, dog.
Oh yeah, we done. Yeah, because I got shit to do every day. I'm not going to tell that lie. I got shit to do.
You're not ready to be a sugar gram.
Ooh, not at all. I got shit to do every day. If I'm sitting on my sofa, I got shit to do. I still got shit to do.
Yeah. And now on that note, I'd like to thank my guests, Maya, my Sharia Moore, and boy, the man, the myth, the legend, Rose
My memoirs is coming out 20 years from now. I'm working on it.
Swerve,
Yes,
I'm my best friend. I'm my worst enemy. The memoirs of Swerve Music.
Yes,
Yes.
In conjunction with Right to Check Productions.
You don't need no drone shots by any chance, right?
We working on
real
it.
shots. We already got that in there.
I heard about the drone shots.
Oh yeah, you got it.
Yeah,
All
we
right,
got it.
DM
No
Nola.
problem.
What?
Yeah.
DM Nola shots.
Nola shots.
Yeah.
Forget that.
So,
Work on my personal
never
document.
need
I'm
it.
gonna holler at y'all.
Yes.
Yeah, drone shots. I got you covered. We got you covered.
Oh, can I do a shameless plug?
Go ahead, knock yourself out.
Shout out to Drew for having me here.
Yes.
Make sure you guys come to Livin Swell. Come get your podcast needs. We here for you.
Yes, we here.
And that's it. And
Cool.
yeah, we out here.
Yes, indeed. So, until next time, peace. This podcast is brought to you by Livin Swell Studios. When you want to record your next hit, broadcast your next live stream, or just need a quiet space to edit your videos, Livin Swell Studios can accommodate all your needs. Located in New Orleans, they're equipped with a rehearsal hall, print shop, photography space, and more. Livin Swell is your one-stop shop to facilitating your vision. Let them fulfill your music and video dreams.